Okay, hi guys. In the last video we understand what is a pseudo class and how it is used in CSS, and we also have a look on one of the pseudo class, which was Focus. Now let's have a look on another pseudo class, which is Hover. Okay, so hover is generally triggered when the user interacts with an element. The interaction here means like when the user points or use the mouse to point over to that element. Okay, this does not mean that the user need to click that element to trigger the animation. User just need to hover the cursor over to that element. Okay, so this is what a hover is. Okay, now let's have a look at the syntax of hover. So one thing to notice here, that all of the pseudo class have the same syntax. The only difference is the name of the pseudo class, which is all the pseudo class have selector, then the pseudo class, which can be anything like focus, active, required, hover in this case. Okay, then two curly braces opening and closing. Inside those curly braces we have property and we have the value of that property. Okay, so all the things are exactly the same, only the pseudo class name changes. So this is the syntax of hover. Now let's jump into an example and understand the hover effect real quick. So let's get to the live example here. Okay, so in HTML, let us create a h1 tag, which is used for heading. So I'm going to write it down here, h1. Okay, so as you can see, if I hover my mouse over to this h1 tag, nothing really happens here. So what we're going to do here is to add a background to this heading. As soon as the user hovers to that heading, the background of the heading changes to another color. So let's jump to CSS. Okay, before going into the pseudo class, before declaring the pseudo class, let us recall the pseudo class syntax again. So in the pseudo class syntax, we have the selector, then we have pseudo class, then we have the property, and then the value. Okay, so here in this case we are selecting the h1 tag for the heading. So h1 tag, or you can call it the h1 element, we are just targeting the h1 element using the pseudo class. Okay, to add the hover effect, we need to use the selector. Okay, in this case, as you know, that is h1. So I'm gonna write it down here, h1, then a colon, then the name actually of the pseudo class, which is hover, then two curly braces, and inside that curly braces I'm gonna change the background. So I'm gonna use the background property, and I'm gonna change the color to blue. This property can be anything. This can be anything like font color, font family. So as soon as I hover my mouse over to the heading, it will change its color to blue. Let's have a look here. So you can see that the background changes to blue. So this is what actually is hover. Okay, so let's take another example. Okay, so in this case we will be using a button. Okay, now let's add a button tag using let's add a button element using a button tag, and using the pseudo class I'm going to change the submit text to some other color. Right now it's black. I will be changing it to some other color like red. So I'm going to use the property and color and the value red. Okay, Now let's have a look. As you can see, the color changes from red to black, black to red. That's how you do it. I hope you like the video. Please rate, comment and subscribe. More videos to come soon. Thanks for watching.